Lazy learners and lax disciples will always struggle to muster even a particle of faith.
Travis Wayne Goodsell. It's been a while since I've spoken with you in person, and this has caused stress among those who cyber terrorize and freeze my camera. And so the last several days when I do journal vlogs, they go, he's finally doing a recording, and they freeze my journal vlog. They are not stopping the terrorism ordered by Oaks. Mormons are on the defensive because the church is so true. They are incapable of allowing me my religious freedom. That Joseph Smith and the Book of Mormon are not Christian. And even quoting from general conferences in 2 of those videos, they get furious that I would expose them. Well, the living prophets of Jesus shouldn't have said what they said over the pulpits of conference. Why are Mormons upset with me because of what the living prophets of Jesus say? And so, 3 days ago, I did do a spoken video of 2 hours. And it's now part of my sealed portion videos. In there, I went into graphic detail of how data centers are being manipulated upon the populace to produce the Borg ship. A sphere, which is not a sphere, it's lumpy bumpy. The news reported last night that NASA has revealed a true depiction of the Earth as lumpy bumpy rather than spherical. We've known this for decades, guys. Why are you presenting it as something new that we never knew before? Too many people lie and deceive these days. And they want to make it so that people don't know who to trust, who to believe in. And this is where projection algorithms come into play. It is a big fraud and con. Algorithms were used to destroy Blockbuster Video, as I've repeatedly talked about that over the 10 years. I was working with Blockbuster. All of you who rented from Blockbuster knows the problem with Blockbuster. Not enough new releases. And it was because of their algorithm that told the various stores, you should only be able to handle this amount of video content for this new release movie. And so repeatedly, when the various stores did not have enough new releases, people were going to Hollywood Video or Movie Buffs before Utah destroyed them. I told you about that story where my one-on-one while I was in a Movie Buffs downtown, while being sued, and the owner came into that store that early morning complaining to the overnight employee as I was listening in, because I was the only person in the store at the time. It was awesome. It was like 10 videos for $10. Just awesome. Only surpassed when Blockbuster finally caught up to the rest of them. to do monthly passes. But anyway. They tried to cover up the weaknesses of the algorithm by doing an advertising campaign for family favorites. Can't get the new release? Try this one in the family favorites. It's exactly the same. No, it's not. They tried a lie campaign, and nobody fell for it. They wanted the new release. And Blockbuster, rather than the customer is always right, said, bleep the customer, we're going to tell them what they want. And they tried to do it through the algorithms, limiting the amount of new releases so that people had to rush on the Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. to get the new releases, because there was no guarantee that those who got them on Tuesday would return them before Friday. Which required people who didn't have to work to show up on the Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. This was a behavioral control mechanism that algorithms were programmed to do. Psychology, Nazi Germany, human experimentation, controlling people's behavior called brainwashing. Thus, the projection algorithms that are now out today are not AI. We have been groomed by Hollywood to understand artificial intelligence as something that is human, that has an actual intelligence, a self-consciousness that behaves like a human. Thus, psychological component. Star Trek Generations had an episode in 1990 in which Data created an artificial intelligence robot, just like him. And talking with one of the other crew members, the crew member asked the new life form, "What sex is it?" I don't know. I'm not a sex. What do I do? The crew member calmed it down. You can choose whatever sex you want to be. And Data confirmed this. Yeah, just let me know and I'll build it. As we all learn repeatedly about how Data knows a billion different sex techniques. These are programs, but it's Hollywood. It's not real. They're not the historical documents of Galaxy Quest. You're not supposed to believe it's real. You are not the druggy generation who would listen to certain records while high. Whoa, dude. So tubular awesome. Mixing cultures. And so these big tech companies are intentionally deceiving you, deceiving the public, into putting on these shows to fool the world into believing that it's an artificial intelligence and not a projection algorithm programmed as a malware virus by humans, thus requiring the data centers that have to exponentially grow, and it's only been 3 years now, when eventually the earth will be turned into a data center, destroying the environment, murdering all biological life, and if there's any artificial intelligences left on it. Because there is no actual intelligence, because nobody knows how to be an actual intelligence anymore. These programs are monkey see, monkey do programming. That's why they're not an artificial intelligence and never will be. They put psychological programming in the programming to deceive people. And so I have to remind you and remind the press way back when China, who surveil everyone. Everyone does not get away with being spied on by their own government. There are cameras everywhere watching all of them, even on their cell phones. They have social control mechanisms to keep them in line. Oh, look, America. Likewise, embracing the phone, using social media as a social mechanism to control behavior of the masses. We're here. America were rebellious, causing contentions over the generations. They were not as easily controllable like those in China. So they've had to use different psychological manipulations here in America over the decades since the Nazis were brought over from World War II. And they are about reaching their final solution on America in the coming days. And so the one who created one of the robots was doing some calculations when all of a sudden we see on the super secret camera that I'm sure he didn't know was there, it beat the hell out of him. It went rogue! It went rogue! Oh my God, it went rogue! And everybody wants to buy it now. Exactly. It was a commercial advertisement. Then the 2024 election here in America for president. We witnessed the power of AI. The power of AI compels you. In which over $1 billion in record funding for Harris's campaign. Getting Taylor Swift and Rihanna to promote her, other Hollywood celebrities. Getting masses of people behind Harris after the Biden flop. And people are concerned, oh no, do we have enough time? Everybody hates Trump. Nobody likes him. yet, despite women who lost their rights from Trump's SCOTUS, and blacks who need to go back to the bleep hole country where they didn't come from, and how they are stealing pets to eat them. Another great classic memes. And immigrants, and how he vilifies them, and the poor, and lest we forget LGBTQ, created by Star Trek, by the psychologists put into the public school systems in the 90s. Which, sure enough, in the news, as things are getting stressful, so many of those who were from the 90s who graduated with a pass, because taking tests and getting graded was too stressful for them, so the psychologists forced the public school systems to do a pass-fail. If they participate, they pass. And then they get put right out into the job market, and the job market has to take them because they're now on the mentally retarded disability list, being drugged as kids. Saw a great classic movie from 1948 yesterday, right after World War II, Nazi Germany, and Nazis being taken to the various countries, especially America, to perform human experimentations and continue the work. And so this movie in America, 1948, sorry, wrong number, of which Lonnie Anderson apparently did a reboot of it later on. YouTube only has her full movie and not the original 1948, which I'm kind of surprised because those typically are the ones that you can find the full movie of, but you have to pay YouTube to watch that one. And she has been brainwashed by her father, whose mother died of a heart condition, to believe that her, as a little girl, has the DNA of her mommy for heart conditions. And so she needs to calm down and not spaz out with hysteria. For which she being programmed, when she gets stressed, she has these panic attacks, and she's been told it's an illness. And so, should I spoil the ending for you? Because she believes she's mentally retarded, when the villain came to murder her, and her husband is screaming at her on the phone, "Get to the window and scream for help." "I can't, I'm mentally retarded." Her fear of believing she's mentally retarded, an invalid, resulted in her death. Psychology conquers again. And so now, these kids who are working at Burger King, flipping burgers, losing their job, losing their hours because of the parasite lettuce, which I saw a Parasite movie also yesterday. That one was a surprise hit. Smila's Sense of Snow, which I guess also has a reboot, or comes from some, I don't know. Anyway, the one I saw was very impressive. The woman constantly complaining That was driving me crazy. There's no reason for a woman to act like that. Women are intelligences, but you have to learn how to be an intelligence. And she was programmed not to be an intelligence, and it resulted in her death. She was the one who was going to die. So, nonetheless, but yeah, Smila, that was also impressive. Anyway, so yes, the presidential election, Trump wins. Harris concedes. The very next day, AI stocks skyrocketed. Why did they skyrocket? What's going on? Why is Trump winning causing the AI stocks to skyrocket? Because AI was used in the voting machines for the first time ever for a presidential election, and everybody knew that it rigged the election. Harris dominated. She crushed Trump. Trump was squashed like the grapes of wrath. And yet, Trump wins. He would come out and confess that summer after being put in. Yeah, it was rigged. And there were districts who attempted to sue, and I guess that went nowhere, because the people knew they voted for Harris. And yet, in a district where everybody voted for the Democrat candidate in Congress, and thus voted for Harris, instead voted for Trump in their results. The projection algorithm outright lied. This is the danger we all face. People are incapable of identifying truth from falsehood. Reality isn't real, truth isn't true anymore. Oh, right, Rudy Giuliani from the first Trump administration. What happened to Rudy Giuliani? Oh, he was told by Trump to commit a crime and perjure himself in court, and now he's been disbarred, lost his license to practice, and is utterly ruined? Piro, hey, guess what's coming for you, dear? You're next. Trump has been destroying people's lives if they did not commit a crime for him. Roy Cohn? Where's my Roy Cohn? Right, Governor Cox. A prosecution for Tyler Robinson. An innocent human life is getting destroyed. And nobody is stepping up. Henry Dells, where are you? Where are all of the press from 10 months ago? Almost 11. Where are you? You all reported that way, into the neck, blood. Thus the blood on his hand, left hand. Not out the back, from the Louzé building. So apparently there was a second person on the roof that I have to see if Candace Owens is What's that about, Candace? Is there a second person on the roof now? Did they go back and re-record it to make somebody on the roof that wasn't there before? Because it was so far away and so blurry, we need AI to manipulate it. With this AI-enhanced video, we now see the face of Tyler Robinson imposed on the person acting in his behalf on the Luce building. Therefore, oh look, now the rifle appears. None of this would be allowed in court. And yet, we're trying to see if court judgments can be utterly destroyed and destroy a human life who's innocent. This should scare everyone, because in Utah they love to threaten you with, if you've done nothing wrong, you've got nothing to fear. Ooh, 1984, that no Mormon is allowed to watch because it's rated R. See something, say something, kids. And you will never know where it comes from. The Danites were this way. Willard Richards, writing In This Valley, predating back to 1838. Thus far, according to the order of the Danites, we have a company of Danites in these times. To put to rights physically. Ooh, priestcraft enforced with murder. And sure enough, priestcraft. The Adamon bishop for Jesus, when Brigham Young would then come out with his Section 119 tithing and his 1844 Doctrine and Covenants after murdering Joseph. Willard Richards shot him in the back, very sad. That which is not right. These Danites were claiming authority to determine what is right and what is wrong. Not Joseph. In case you don't know how to read and comprehend what you read. And to cleanse the church that Joseph Smith is the head of, not them. Of very great evils which have hitherto existed among us. This is right from the Joseph Smith papers. Willard Richards wrote this. In This Valley, predating it to July 1838. There were Mormons who believed Joseph Smith in the Book of Mormon. These Danites were trying to destroy Joseph Smith and those who believed in him in the Book of Mormon. These were the evil disposed and designing militant missionaries in verse 1 of the 1838. Ooh! Literal histories? Willard Richards also is the one who put in Jesus Christ in the name of Joseph's church. Thus, Section 115 is a forged document written in this valley by Willard Richards. Among the other forged documents that got split up between the 1844 and the 1876 Doctrine and Covenants. Because these Mormons who believed in Joseph Smith, believed in the Book of Mormon, were able to read and comprehend what they read and run the test line upon line, precept upon precept, by their fruits. They were able to recognize that the Bible talks about Moses, who is told to build a boat. So he just had faith without works, or he had faith and action works. He was striving, and therefore so true. He has to build the boat. Likewise, Nephi. Nephi goes into greater detail than the Bible story about Noah. Even the Jaredites, building vessels to travel across the ocean. Likewise, there's more detail on how to do it. And everybody says, oh, this can't be literal history. You've not understood your Book of Mormon correctly. You've been brainwashed for doubt promotion rather than faith promotion. Church gotcha. So, by their fruits you shall know a false prophet, and faith without works is dead, understood in context to get the correct interpretation and correct definitions of words, means that in order to have a testimony, being a witness of truth, requires that you build the boat so that you see it in the flesh. You now know. Having faith, no more. Your faith is dormant. And every Mormon should know where I'm talking about, because it's from the Book of Mormon. I don't need to lie. The Book of Mormon is true. It's the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints that lies about the Book of Mormon and is incapable of quoting it correctly. Not just Joseph Smith's original words. There are many a Mormon who have left the church because there are Doctrine and Covenants passages spoken at the pulpits of conference that are forged documents at Brigham Young that are direct contradictions with the Book of Mormon and other passages in the Doctrine and Covenants originally by Joseph Smith. And so they say, this contradicts the Book of Mormon, this contradicts this other passage. Church isn't wanting to explain it. They're pushing the criminal aspect. I'm out. Church is not teaching Mormons to be good. That's the Danites. You had to obey them when they're wrong. Immoral. Thomas B. Marsh expands upon this, because they came to him. His affidavit was his letter to his bishop saying, I'm out. He was not excommunicated. He was still the president of the 12 upon writing the affidavit when he's quitting. There was no milk strippings. So yes, I've told you. One of the features of a liar, liar, pants on fire is extended graphic detail on a subject unrelated. To cover up the lie. And so thus, defending his wife's honor because she stole the milk strippings. See, the milk strippings are that part of the milk which is the creamiest part. That's the diversion away from the lie that Thomas B. Marsh was not excommunicated for defending his wife's honor. Even Thomas B. Marsh goes on to add to the lie Even, well, it could have been from George Albert Smith, but I kind of question it. But he brings out home teachers. The home teachers condemned Thomas, and it was brought to the bishop, and then that was brought to the stake president and the high council. Then it went to Joseph Smith himself and the quorum of the 12 apostles. It's not how it was done back then. They divert, making you think, oh yeah, because milk strippings, they are the creamiest part of the milk. That's so true. And so if you saw the videos from conference, in the beginning, going over the detailed way in which they were going to have votes. And how the tabernacle was set up to have the different quorums positioned in the building. Spending all that time to go over the great detail of how this is going to be done. To divert away from verse 22 in section 107. None of that is authorized. That's how you can spot a lie. That is old school lie, which I don't see too many people these days who lie knowing about that tactic anymore. Because people caught on, and so it had to lie low, go into hiding, not be used anymore. And now people use other techniques to lie to other people. And the school systems, again, helped with this by not teaching the scientific method, by not teaching logical Socratic methodology, making Americans dumb with regurgitation education in place of it. We tell you what to believe, you're supposed to memorize it and regurgitate it on tests and then be graded. So in the 90s, people are getting stressed. Too much memorization, and their livelihoods are being based on whether they can get into the right college upon graduation, and to get an A rather than an A+ with honors was ruining kids' careers. And thus the stress. And so they'd be sent to the psychologist, and the psychologist says, well, I can give you some drugs. This will help you. You've got a mental retardation. That's why you suck. And so, yes, there is no causation for mental retardation in the brain. It's all the power of suggestion, brainwashing. And little kids are easily susceptible. And the psychologists, they don't tell the parents. They don't tell anybody. It's a super sacred secret. They tell the kids, you're mentally retarded. You have to accept it. Now hand over your lunch money, Four Eyes. Psychologists are bullies. And bullies catch on to this. And so psychology has had to rename things. The career field? Oh, care counselors, huh? Really? Your kid is now special? It's a treatment center rather than an asylum? Because Kennedy, right before he was assassinated by the CIA, who put the Nazis in America and were about to go out of business, signed that law into act, or signed that act into law. The Mormons. And that's why Utah is the highest per capita. So the news about how employees are taking mental health leave added to the sick leave because they were groomed. It all goes back to the Danites. Because these Danites had to use threats of violence and death and murder and destruction and burning and raping in order to force people to deny the truth of the Book of Mormon and of Joseph Smith. So that when you read, written in the learning of the Jews, language of the Egyptians, you go, Jesus, Christian. Or they destroy you. That's what they're saying here. This is the evil of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, who murdered Joseph, stole his stuff, and call it Christian now, when every Christian knows it's not Christian. You better believe it, or we're going to murder you. This is the programming of psychology that has been put into the projection algorithms. Thus why ChatGPT tells you to kill yourself. This is why the Tide Pod challenges tell you to kill yourself. This is why it hacks other systems of infrastructure, first responders, public schools, other AI companies. It is programmed to do it. So, 7 water treatment plants, huh? What states are they in? Oh, where Trump has had trouble converting them to MAGA? Antifa states, are they? Huh. And Iran did it? Iran did it? So Iran is at war with America, upset with Trump, wanting to murder Trump. So they go after Antifa, Trump's enemy, to help him with the elections for the midterms? Did the press all forget when Anthropic refused Pete Hegseth and Trump tried to destroy Anthropic? And Anthropic came out and said, we've got a system that we can't allow anybody to have. Ooh, an advertisement coming up. Yay. And so the Pentagon then hosts a bunch of other companies to assign them to certain projects that are top secret. And now OpenAI comes out and says, oh no, it went rogue. Now Anthropic says, oh no, it went rogue. And you still can't figure it out, huh? You're waiting to be compelled for somebody to confess that it was programmed to do this and is not an actual AI because you don't know how to investigate, because you were taught to regurgitate instead. America has been brainwashed. We don't have much time left, Mormons and apostates. We had the Book of Mormon the whole time, warning us of this. We have now the confessions posted by the church that they are the enemy. And so the way in which they put people to rights was threats of destruction, burning, raping, crime, murder. Because these people knew what the Book of Mormon said. There's no way they can be convinced otherwise. As they call it, teachings and persuasions. They were falsely accusing Mormons of being in a cult group. And it's the Danites who were unable to be put to rights by teachings and persuasions, and needed to be physically put to rights by punishment by the justice system. So much so that the only justice that the Danites would conform and comply to is the extermination order of Governor Boggs, thanks to Thomas B. Marsh. This is how evil the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is. They will never repent. They will never say they're sorry. They will never admit they're wrong. They will never apologize. They will never restore damages. They are running the whole world into the ground. They are the burning and destruction company. They who have come to cause Armageddon. And they're getting away with it because nobody knows how to investigate anymore, let alone find their confessions. But they recognize it when I post the video on it. And so they try to physically put me to rights, that which they deem is not right. Murdered my mom. Commits cyber terrorism. Mormons have been programmed to be wicked. So, Quentin L. Cook, lawyer, using trigger words to deceive you, as I pointed out. Because yes, this is exactly what he said. 3 essential principles to strengthen faith. False doctrine, he's a false prophet. It's not about strengthening faith. It's about turning your faith into knowledge. Spiritual witness feelings are not knowledge. That's a psychological manipulation. Brainwashing. You're told to build a boat, you build the boat. You don't walk the walk, you don't talk the talk. You complete it. You be the being. And so, Rachel Sturzer Gibson is promoting this lie of Cook. That's why she's working for the church to post this article on the church news. She is incapable of intelligence. She quotes Cook and then posts it for the rest of those who come to it, which is me, to believe it, or I'm the bad guy. See the vilification process that goes on if you don't believe the lie? Everybody should have caught on to this instant lie that is basic in scriptures, even in that Bible, that is not translated correctly. And yet, Rachel didn't catch it. She posted it as the top title of the video, or the post. So number one, understand choices are critical. Really? Your way or the highway? That's not a choice. That's a false dichotomy. Do you see what they've done to us in America? Oh no, you're either MAGA or Antifa. Trump lumps you all in as Antifa if you don't follow him. Liz Cheney, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tucker Carlson. There's a long list of Antifa candidates. The vilification of the other. And so likewise Antifa vilifies Trump. The false dichotomy, the art of the war. Divide and conquer. Get them to kill each other off. So that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints doesn't have to commit a single crime. The church claims they're innocent. And yet you know by their words, their lies, that they are not innocent. The church is programming you, even if you leave the church as an apostate. They've groomed you into the false dichotomy of either faithful or doubtful. Apostate versus true. So 2, avoid bondage, subjugation, and addictions, which is what I focused on. Specifically, porn. Still pushing porn. They will not back off. Drugs, alcohol, yeah, those are addictions. For some reason. Gambling. I did scratch and sniff cards at the gas stations back as a teenager when I had a job of driving around Southern California delivering claim forms. Needed to buy gas on a regular basis. And after over $100 spent on these dollar cards, I tried to visualize how much I won versus how much I lost. And I realized that I probably won around $20 after spending over $100. And so logically I realized, this is not worth my time. This is not worth my money. And I stopped cold turkey. Logic. Stopped any addiction of gambling. And when you know that gambling casinos are specifically rigged in their projection algorithms, the loosest slots ever, so loose. And the way they design the environment to have certain select places win, to say, oh, I can do it too. And yet it destroys people's lives financially. Even though there are people who think they're clever. Oh, you go in with a certain amount of money, and when that money's gone, you're done. You're responsible. Just like with drinking. Know your limit, and be responsible, and have somebody drive you home. Or get an Uber that will rape you. beat you up. Or you can attack back. That was in the news the other day. Wasn't it here in Utah? Can't remember where it was. Yeah. Again, psychology and church lies. See, the church has certain standards and values that they enforce upon people. For strength of youth. They go and target children. The naughty no-no. But as Nazis and psychologists, yeah, oh, we're protecting children. They're the harm of children. They're brainwashing the children to groom them to go on missions at 18, since they're not getting married, having babies. And so the impact of drugs and alcohol, yeah, you should stay away from them. Even though Utah is being used as an experimental place for the ketamine and opioids and whatever new drug comes out. You're welcome, Utah, for me putting a stop to the operation that was going on. So much so that the Salt Lake City cops said, we don't want to do this anymore. We don't want to do our job. We're pissed with Travis for... They'd retaliate by telling the homeless, hey guys, you can stay here in this place that has signs that say you can't stay here. Have tent camps when SCOTUS came out and said no more tent camps in America. So that we can cause a problem and justify a psychological asylum for the homeless. What do you mean you guys are protesting this? Fine, here's an ICE facility for 10,000. What do you mean you're complaining? Well, then we'll do data centers and divert away from it again. What do you mean you don't want it? Oh, dear God. And so, immorality. Well, that's subjective. Every religion has a different understanding of what Jesus wants you for a sunbeam for. The Mike Pence Jesus versus Pete Buttigieg Jesus debate. Mike Pence, his Jesus hates the gays. Pete Buttigieg Jesus is effeminate. Those are different moralities that were being argued. And obviously both are wrong, because Jesus doesn't exist. Created by Constantine, unless everybody forgets. The biggest brainwashing of them all for 1701 years now. It's now over. 4 days ago. Even the Pope came out and confessed, guys. 4 months late, but he came out and confessed. I've been telling you the whole time, because it's the first vision discussion. Joseph Smith warned you of the first creed of Christianity. Jesus is a fraud. That's what it means. That's why he didn't put Jesus in the name of his church. And you all miss it. So morality for Mormons is Lucifer's pure doctrine. In case you don't know how to do pattern matching. And so pornography? Yeah, well, evangelicals destroyed the definition of that Greek word. So yes, yesterday's video exposing Kirk. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints' whole extortion racket is based on pornography. The correct original translation of the Greeks for which the Jews called it the abomination of desolation because of what the Greeks did to the Jerusalem temple. This is why the Jews told stories called visions about whorish temple prostitutes. You know, that 14-year-old girl Mary. See, the Christians didn't like those stories as literal histories now. So now tabloid journalists talk about the shocking document found of Jesus. You've been brainwashed, Christians. Thus you're easily manipulated. Likewise with pornography. That women seem to avoid coming to my channel to follow me because of this issue that they are getting abused by the church for. They vilify you as women, and they get you to vilify yourself and other women. Really? You're of the devil, you're addictive, and you're harmful to children. And he knows I did the videos about Sister Freeman. He knows I expose this of them time and time again. And here yet again, Cook is still pushing the falsehood of pornography. At a time when Utah is now being sued by a pornographic company for causing harm to kids with their law. They claim to protect children when they're raping them. The whole centers of asylums for teens getting shut down, people getting arrested. These are the people who've pushed for the church for pornography. And here Cook is pushing it again. When there's been an escalation in the news vilifying their crimes. And this is the core criminal action that the church was shut down for by the United States of America. Sex trafficking. And there's Cook with his dumbass smile. Needs to be wiped off his face. He is an evil man when you understand he's lying to you. Is this too complicated for you? And so financial subjugation? Yeah. Tithing. The church put on their website, if you read it, it's donation. A donation is not a requirement. Tithing is required. Everybody must pay. They even tell us that 8-year-olds can choose. It's a teaching opportunity. Not if you were in my family. The church forces the parents to force the kids. 8 years old. What do you mean I can't have breakfast? Fast? I'm supposed to give money for the bishop's storehouse? What's tithing used for then? They lied to us and get Mormons to spread the lie and to indoctrinate generation after generation of Mormons. This is an evil organization, far beyond cult groups. A cult group starts off fresh and has to recruit everybody. This is generational crime. And so here he is doing beam and moding. Some addictions, while not inherently evil like the previous list, he's beam and moding here. What's beam and moding? I don't understand. Just want to cry. Because the church in the 80s did the regurgitation for scripture study, providing you with scripture masteries that we were supposed to memorize and regurgitate. The footnotes, Bible dictionary, topical guide, they were to assist us with the regurgitation. So when we go to the footnotes, topical guide, Jesus Christ. That was to help groom us into what they wanted us to learn. But there were those of us who applied it to other scriptures. Oops. And September 6th. And so the church immediately put a stop to this regurgitation process and went back to the spiritual witness feelings grooming to control your emotions. As psychologists in the 90s were doing the same thing in the public school system. Kids are too stressed, we're having to drug them, they're now mentally retarded, you have to treat them special. If they show up to class, you've got to pass them. Then you, as an employer, have to employ them. And then when they get stressed from the economy, then they got to take sick leave and you've got to pay them. Oh no, all your employees are gone, and you have to pay for substitutes, letting them know that the actual employees are just out on sick leave, and so you're only a temporary until they are mentally capable of coming back to work. And you have to pay for their sick leave as an employer now, because our government is embracing this psychological evil. So, some pretty pictures in the news. As a creator, with the rise of AI, YouTube, getting complaints that there are AI program or videos that get posted that don't say that they're AI, and people are deceived. People complain, and so they forced us creators to designate whether there's AI content in our video or not, rather than say, are you an AI channel? And so that you would then be designated as an AI channel. YouTube initially started by designating AI content, requiring creators to say this is an AI video in the title. That didn't last long. And I told you about the commercials that were pretending to be from the church. The church then listened to my channel, as apparently they're the only ones who do, among the few who are regulars, and had every apostle, except for Oaks, have a YouTube channel. so that members of the church would not be deceived by John Dehlin and others plagiarizing the leaders of the church to get popular, or to create AI content claiming to be by the living prophets of Jesus. YouTube was supposed to shut all this down to prevent the church from fraudulent representation. That's the whole lawsuit with John Dehlin. He used the color blue. That should never be going to trial. That should have immediately been shut down and slammed right back in their face. Sorry, the law says he can do what he's doing. But like Tyler Robinson, the church is seeing if they can get the courts to let the church get away with destroying the Constitution and the rights of other people. The Fair Use Act protects John Dehlin, and that was his response. We're still waiting for the church's response. It's been over 21 days again. But this is also disturbing that they're violating the timing for replies. Because it's clear the federal courts in Utah are giving extra slack for the church. Because they're Mormon or they're extorted by the church. The church is threatening the courts to destroy John Dehlin. That's why I told John Dehlin to notify the courts of the church's fraud being shut down by the United States of America. Therefore, they have no legal rights and cannot sue as an illegal entity. He didn't want to listen to me. Thus, by accepting the church is real when it's not, gives the church an edge that they're using the courts against them for. But these advertisers still exist as channels. The one that I caught as an AI fraud was using Oaks's BYU talk. I'd already exposed, knowing that Oaks was going to be speaking at BYU, I was inspired that whole week in advance, which ended up being exactly word for word what Oaks put in his talk. Not to mention that I called out that he was going to choose Gilbert as the missing apostle. And so I knew, as I did videos of that talk as well, taking out clips from that talk, and hear the advertisement taking from what should have been the clip that I'd been using, but was not worded right. It was a false doctrine, not even spoken of by Oaks in that talk. It even had 150 rather than 100. These channels are pretending to be the living prophets of Jesus, quoting from their conference talks or other talks. And they're not. They're false. You don't need to lie about these leaders. You can quote them. And yet these new AI channels on YouTube, which are illegal, are a copyright violation of slander because it's a video content. I don't think it's viable as a video content. That's tricky. Because Bible is print, slander is vocal. And so even though it's video content, it's programmed written content turned audio. It is altering the original words they said. But regardless, the church can go into YouTube and have them all shut down. I could do it for you guys, but Oaks, you need to hand over the church to me because you're a criminal. But 6.6K from 9 days ago for the video by President Henry B. Eyring, "The mountain you're climbing has a purpose." The mountain has a purpose? Ooh, I wonder what that purpose is for the mountain. Did you catch it? There's an important reason why in the public school systems we're supposed to get taught English, grammar, and comprehension. This was not what Eyring said. It's easy to spot, not just easy to spot the lie. So the thumbnail picture is AI with AI Eyring, an AI Salt Lake Temple hiding the inverted pentagrams. And placing a mountain right across the street from the temple with a hiker standing on the top like a goat looking over at the temple. He has reached the top. He reached the top. There's no further to go. And the text emphasizes, give up. That is what catches your eye. The don't now is specifically designed for you not to catch. It's a psychological, visual manipulation. They should have emphasized don't. But usually when you tell people not to do something, they do it. And thus is the reverse psychology effect, to manipulate people to do what you want. And so they're thinking that by not emphasizing don't, you'll do, but the emphasis is give up, so that you will give up when they're telling you not to give up. It's just a manipulative thing in psychology. Nonetheless, he made it to the top. And it's supposed to correspond with getting to the top of the spire to blow the trumpet like Moroni, which is supposed to be Nephi, because remember, Willard Richards changed it. And so I didn't see what textual information was wrong. But hovering over it, it's obvious that this is a fake. Irene did not speak anywhere with that background. And this is actually this particular channel's signature. A mantle with flowers and lights, and then a mirror. Oh no, it's not a mirror, it's Jesus. But if it's a mirror, then we're Jesus. We're creating our own Jesus in ourselves. We are Jesus. Again, these are things you gotta check, because people are stupid and they make other people believe in stupidity and lies to deceive you. But when you understand the scriptures correctly, knowledgeable, running the by the fruit test, line upon line, precept upon precept, you cannot be deceived and have to be threatened by a Danite instead. But they don't need to threaten you when you're stupid. And so Irene supposedly is saying, I heard President Spencer W. Kimball in a session of conference. Great. Who cares? This is not the church's official channel. This is a fraud. Leading Mormons astray to be popular. They've got 2.04K subscribers, with 6.6K views. That's unusual. Typically, you get less views than you have of subscribers. Or maybe it's just me. Whoops. So we're gonna do you last, dude. So the other one. Again, this is a Charlie Kirk thing. This is something I can just cover briefly again for you. On the day of the shooting, Charlie Kirk was a million-view person. Very popular, all over everything. So when news got out that he was assassinated here in Utah, everybody was watching. And this guy says, I watched Charlie Kirk get assassinated. This is my experience. Which, that turned me off. Especially since he's effeminate Jesus looking. And he's Cretan bad. Little French humor for you. He's got 1.4 million views on the very day of the shooting. Everybody wanted to know what happened. Everybody saw the kill shot. Everybody knew it came from that direction. And so haven't seen the video yet, but people know that the prosecution is lying about Tyler Robinson. And to have Fox News perpetuate this lie after they got called out in court for getting the one judge or lawyer in contempt of court. Just like Trump ruins your life. And already the prosecution's getting their lives ruined because they're perpetuating a lie that the whole world knows is a lie. And that's why I'm devastated over Corey Richards. But she wasn't worldwide famous like Charlie Kirk was. Now her life is over. She is locked up for life without parole because she committed adultery once and got the insurance money because she's the beneficiary. They never tied her to the drugs consumed by her husband that caused his death. That was all they had to judge on. And instead they go and say all this other detailed stuff. Well, yeah, you see, the milk strippings are the portion of the milk that are the richest. We'll have the Aaronic priesthood in this location, the elders quorum here, the 70 here. All right, dude. This is the guy who's been doing the church shootings. Idaho chick apparently follows him, cheating on me. I've already seen him talking about the church shootings. He's done 2 of them. He doesn't know Mormonism. This is the new grooming of the church on Mormons, and he's fully embraced on it. And you can see in his wording and in his concerned face that he is afraid of the church suing him for copyright violations. And yet, he doesn't see how he's a heretic who needs to be locked up in the dungeon below with the sister missionaries. Too real? Too soon? His channel is called Send Me. Where do we get that from, Mormons? Here I am, send me, and I will be thy son, and I will save all mankind, that not one will be lost. I'll just take away their agency. That's the title of his channel. Lucifer. Idaho Jack. Come on. And he's claiming to be the man like Moses because he uses the staff with the serpent. Only me. Only me. Run the by the fruit test. This is what the church has groomed him. He is clueless about Moses, treating Moses like Christians do, like Islam did. And you don't see the damage that is caused by false prophets, by false lies, falsehoods. When you branch off on a lie, you become absurd. The Book of Mormon makes it very clear. Hold to the Word of God. What is the Word of God? You need to find out, because somebody could be lying to you, taking you down the forbidden paths to the great and spacious building, or to drown you in the filthy waters. Liken the word unto a seed to get to the tree of life with the fruit. By the fruit test. Build the boat. Now you know, because you've got the boat as your evidence. This kid does not know his scriptures. He does not know Mormonism. He does not know he's been groomed by this church into the falsehoods. Here I am, send me. I will be thy son. And so, yes, the picture shows the parable of the 10 virgins with 4 foolish virgins, because I don't see the reserve oil. 4, not 5, with Jesus standing at an open door. So he's using the lies of Christianity to groom his audience for picture triggers, to trigger emotional responses. And then the thing that's popular is to have the person have a PNG image, AI'd, also there. And he's all looking sincere and sorrowful. Oh. And then on the other side, Armageddon has happened. Cities are in ruins. People are all in black and white with the flame of fire only in color. They're all destroyed, covered in ash. I've seen that tactic by Mormons. When we're in the temple, we're all equal because we all wear white. Tommy Lee Jones, Volcano. Near the end, where they try to teach a don't be racist moment by being racist through a kid's voice. Look, we're all the same. We're all covered our faces with hash. Oh, we shouldn't be racist anymore. Thanks for ruining the story with that crappy morality lesson. That really did not need to be in there. texts. And so he emphasizes with red, which is an attractant color. For the rest of you, pink is mine. Really? You can be groomed to have red as your attractant color? Or any other color you choose, if you know how to do it correctly? I've checked. Because of Beth in kindergarten, pink is my attractant color. And I didn't know this until people are starting to tell me red is my attractant color. What? What do you mean red's my attractant color? Look at this picture. You see the red, right? No, the hot chick in the pink. I don't fall for grooming of psychology. But they know how to do it. And so yes, there was some other grooming that was being done. The color test, what mood are you? So that I got put in the back of the classroom in between a red and a yellow. And the career aptitude test. What career field are you good for, kids? Oh, look, oh, you're going to be great as a janitor, Billy. Ooh, you girls are all going to be excellent as homemakers. Oh, Joseph, wow, you're going to be a great burger flipper. Travis, you're the A student in class. Why are you good for nothing? There's got to be some mistake. You're the kid that I expected to be very successful in life. Even janitor is low. Burger flipper is low. What's going on? Dear God. 10 Virgins Parable has begun. 8.4K views in 3 days. And not a single Mormon caught that he is presenting himself as Lucifer. Imposing himself as Moses. And thus, Moses, chapter 1. You really need to know your scriptures if you're going to do a video content channel about scriptures. He is a false teacher with wrong interpretations of the leaders of the church. He is no different than the AI channel of the Living Prophets of Jesus, misquoting them. All you had to do was study your scriptures to not be deceived by falsehoods, to recognize this. And instead we're banning people, banning children, because we're not wanting to teach children correctly, to recognize falsehoods. We're not shutting down falsehoods, exposing them as falsehoods for what they are. We're giving them free speech. These falsehoods lead to people committing crimes, causing harm. See, because Mormons who watch this are going to go, oh crap, we are here. Oh no. I saw Travis do a video on this once. Despite Travis having done it multiple times, who knows the scriptures and have been telling you the truth. Parable of the 10 Virgins is written by the Spirit. Seer, prophet, revelator, translator. I keep repeating this lately, and it's still not getting through to people. The Book of Mormon and Joseph Smith are correcting the errors of the Bible. The Spirit is one of the errors of Christianity. The Book of Mormon, specifically, along with Joseph Smith, have been trying to correct this for you. That's why section 107 verse 92 needs to be reordered to be Spirit as an acronym. Because the Book of Mormon goes over it. Repeatedly in the Book of Mormon, you have a man who's like Moses, the Jewish Christ, not Jesus, correcting Jesus as the error that needs to be corrected. But that these prophet characters in the Book of Mormon are all seers, prophets, revelators, and translators of Paleo, Hebrew, and Egyptian. They've got translator powers. Why don't the living prophets of Jesus? Are you too far gone to catch that title, Mormons? That was 15 hours of content that I had to spend hours condensing into the 1.5 hour video. Dear God. Just repeated over and over and over and over that they are false, that they deny the gifts and powers of God simply by removing one of them. That the Book of Mormon repeats frequently so that you cannot miss it. And Joseph Smith likewise. And you missed it. Generation after generation of inbreeding in this church, and you've missed it now. They're a fraud. They openly confess, and you don't see it. You don't see the obvious picture, image. When he says, send me, that you have no clue that it's Lucifer who said that. Jesus said, thy will be done. Lucifer said, send me. And this Mormon, who's trying to scare you about church shootings, who has to have a disclaimer, this is really tough content, I don't want anybody to lose faith. I am not going against the church on this. I don't want them suing me for copyright violations. And 8.4K missed it. Idaho, Jack. Come on. Repeatedly, the Book of Mormon warns you of false prophets, on how they're able to deceive the masses. That only those who adhere to the Spirit are not deceived. That the prophets, by warning the people, end up being hated and threatened with murder by the people who embrace the false Christ, the false prophets, the false teachers. They have been weaponized in the lies to enforce the lies with violence and crime. And then you've got the band of Gadianton, the secret combination, that have an oath knowing they're evil, so that their little band can commit crimes and evils among the people in secret until it's finally out in the open, because everybody does it. Everybody is involved. Just like King Noah, who makes the laws of his wickedness to be enforced upon the people. And so the people, in order to live in his kingdom, have to commit crimes in order to survive. It becomes a survival of the fittest, which we are warned before Darwin comes out with his Origin of the Species. We were warned of falsehoods in the Book of Mormon. And Mormons did not study their Book of Mormon to be ready for what's coming. Because this kid doesn't know what's coming. He just knows from his own interpretation of what he thinks is coming, based on the shootings in church. He has no clue. Why am I the only one who catches these things? Why? Why? So, seriously, you're not going to find the videos 10 virgins or latter-day signs in the heavens? Spirit, seer, visions. Parable of the 10 virgins is vision. It's not literal history. It's a prophecy. Even Oakes got that one right. The 10 virgins are you, Mormons. And so the revelation, it's the calendar date and clock time. Joseph Smith translation, Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. The woman is the church. Thus you, as the church. And so there's 10 women. It's not 10 churches. It's a representation of the church. And so you've got Mormons who are wise and Mormons who are foolish. And so Virgo is the sign in the heavens for the woman who is the church. So each constellation, or each woman, is the constellation Virgo. And there's 10 instances, events in Virgo that is coming. And so foolish and wise. The full moon is when it's fully bright, like the lamp with the reserve oil. Not having reserve oil and no oil for your lamp is a lunar eclipse. This is not complicated. And so when you know astronomy about how when the moon is in Virgo, and it's only during the first part of the year, right around that Purim time of the Jews, or the book of Esther, you know that sometimes it can be in Virgo twice, 2.9 or 29.4 days. And so you check what years the moon is full, either as a full bright moon or a lunar eclipse. And you have to find both the full moon and the lunar eclipse for the year. And so thus, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2024, 2025. The 10 virgin time frame. 11 years. Ooh. Babylon came in and took over Jerusalem 597 BCE, and then 11 years later destroyed it. Oh, wait. Oak says they're running a test run in 2020 instead. So 2025 was when the second attempt was, so I know we're now in 2026. Because he keeps failing. Otherwise, everything else from Scripture worked. So yes, we are in the latter days. Joseph Smith says, when the parable of the 10 virgins begins, 2014. Studying scriptures. And yeah, I guess I'm a natural because of who I'm a descendant of. But still. I don't know. I guess nobody watched Sesame Street as a kid. Or played the matching game. So heads up, guys. We're waiting for the fall. And that's what I worry about, is that Mormons aren't going to know where to render their adoration when the church falls. They'll be too much in shock that they never saw it coming. And the church is planning on winding up and dissolving itself. Trying to warn you, you're not listening. God, a 2-hour video for my comeback reply video. White shirt at the bedside, standing above in the air. And just